You don't get a warm welcome. You get wind. You get darkness. You get a planet that feels like it's trying to erase you. Subscribe, because in this story, every awe moment has a price. You open your eyes inside a crowded colony on hard ice, and the first thing you learn is simple. You are not cute. You are a mistake that hasn't died yet, because you're a penguin, and being born as you is basically a long negotiation with hypothermia. Scene 1. The egg problem. Your entire life starts as a single fragile oval, not on a nest, not in a cozy burrow, on ice that can kill an exposed egg in minutes. So your parents play the weirdest game in nature. Don't drop it. They balance you on their feet, wrap you in a warm fold of skin, and if you slip for even a moment, that's it. The cold doesn't hurt, it just ends you. No drama, no second chances, but the danger doesn't wait for your birth. Scene 2. Dad becomes a statue. The egg transfers. Mom turns around and walks away toward the ocean. And now Dad's job is simple. Stand still. For weeks. He can't go eat. He can't just take a quick break. He huddles with other dads in a living, breathing wall, spinning positions like a slow, desperate carousel, so nobody freezes first. Meanwhile, his body is burning through stored fat like it's a survival budget. And you're still inside the egg, taking your sweet time. This is your only job, and the storm doesn't care that you're trying. Scene 3. The hatch and the immediate bill. You finally crack the shell, and congratulations, you've arrived on Earth at the worst possible address. You are a tiny puff of down. No waterproof feathers. No real insulation. Just a fragile heat leak with legs. And here comes the first cruel joke. You can't touch the ground. If you fall off those feet, you become a frozen souvenir. So you stay perched, shivering, blinking, and begging for warmth you don't know how to make. And Dad is running out of fuel. Scene 4. Food arrives. Maybe Mom returns from the sea with a stomach full of fishy paste. If she returns. Sometimes storms delay her. Sometimes she doesn't find food. Sometimes she never makes it back. And if she's late, Dad can only do so much. He can produce a tiny emergency meal for a few days. But after that, you don't starve loudly. You just get quieter. Oh, look. Your first lesson in life. Silence is how nature says no. Scene 5. The creche, daycare, but everyone's hungry. As you grow, the colony changes. Parents start leaving you in big groups while they feed at sea. It's called a creche. Sounds safe, right? It's not safe, it's less impossible. You're surrounded by other chicks, all of you shoulder to shoulder like fluffy debt collectors, trying to steal warmth from each other, and every hour the wind tests the weakest ones. And above you? Birds watch. Skuas, gulls, anything with wings and a bad attitude. They don't need to beat you in a fight. They just need you to wander, to trip, to get separated for 10 seconds. That's enough for a beak to write your ending. So you learn the second skill of penguin childhood. Stay in the crowd or disappear. Scene 6. The first cliff. One day, your body finally upgrades. You start growing the feathers you actually need, not the fluffy starter pack, the real armor. Because soon, you'll face the most terrifying thing in your life. Water. Yes, the thing you're literally built for. But right now, water is not your home. It is a mouth. You shuffle to the edge of the ice. You stare down into black nothingness. And you wait. Because penguins have a strategy for fear. If enough of you jump, the odds become someone else's problem. Viewer question. Would you be the first one to dive? Or would you volunteer someone ahead of you? Either way, someone goes first. Splash. And just when you think it's fine. Scene 7. The underwater tax collector. A shadow rockets up from below, fast, silent, perfect. Leopard seals don't chase you like a movie villain. They ambush, right at the ice edge, where you have nowhere to go but forward. You kick, you twist, you sprint through water like your life is on a timer, because it is. If you're lucky, the seal misses. If you're not, you don't even get a scream, just a splash, a shake, and you become calories. Welcome to the ocean. It's beautiful. It's also a trap. Scene 8. You become good, and it still isn't enough. Here's the unfair part. You actually get strong. You learn to dive. deep, long. You chase fish, you dodge, you rocket through water like a torpedo in a tuxedo. For the first time, you feel powerful. And then you go back to land. And remember, you can't fly, you can't run, you can't fight. On ice, you are a waddling snack with a confident walk. So every commute becomes a gamble. Eat enough to live. Return without becoming lunch. Not bad, except nature doesn't grade on effort. Scene 8.5. The march. You pay for every meal twice. Food isn't nearby. The ocean can be far, and you don't teleport there, so you march. In a line, across ice that cracks and shifts. You slip. You belly slide. You stand up pretending that was on purpose. Because while you're doing this commute, the weather can flip in minutes. Wind turns your face numb. You learn a brutal penguin rule. If you stop moving, you stop being warm. So you keep going, even when your legs feel like they belong to someone else. Scene 8.6. The almost win. You finally reach open water. You dive, you catch a fish. For a second, you feel like a genius. Then you surface and realize you're not alone. A dark fin slices past. Maybe it's an orca deciding whether you're worth the effort. You don't wait to find out. You rocket back to the ice, launching your whole body out of the water because in the sea, hesitation gets eaten. You flop onto the ice, breathing hard. Nice work, but don't celebrate because you still have to walk home. Scene 8.7. The humiliation setback. Back at the colony, you finally bring food for your chick. You're proud, you're heroic, and then another adult bumps you. Your fish splats on the ice, and a random neighbor just takes it. No fight, no apology, just theft with eye contact. You look around like, did anyone see that? They did. They just don't care, because in this place, manners freeze before you do. Scene 9. Adulthood. The coldest romance on Earth. Eventually, you join the adult crowd, and now the goal changes. Not just survive, reproduce. Because the colony has one job, make more of you before the ice takes you. So you march, you sing, you find a partner in the chaos, and then you repeat the same nightmare you began with. Egg, feet, storm, fasting, waiting. You've upgraded from helpless chick to tired parent. That's the reward. And here's the twist nobody mentions. Every breeding season is a bet on the ice staying stable long enough, meaning the ground can vanish under the next generation before they're even ready to enter the water. Nice work, but the floor is optional now. Scene 10. Humans are watching, and that doesn't save you. Far away, humans count penguins from space, measure sea ice like it's an early warning alarm, and publish headlines about declines in some regions. But you don't feel headlines. You feel wind. You feel hunger. You feel the moment your feet stop warming fast enough. Scene 11. The late stage inversion. Here's the cruelest part. You spend your whole life becoming a specialist, a master of cold, a diver built for ice water, a survivor of storms. And then, time changes the rules. You get older, your dives get shorter, your reactions get slower. You miss fish you used to catch easily. You arrive late to the colony. You lose your spot in the huddle. And late in Antarctica is a death sentence disguised as a schedule. The colony doesn't hate you, it just keeps moving, without you. Because being a penguin isn't a hero story, it's a conveyor belt. Final scene. The cycle doesn't stop one day. You stand at the edge of the ice again. Not as a chick, as a tired adult. The ocean is still there. The predators are still there. The wind is still there. And somewhere behind you, a new egg balances on feet, shaking in the same cold you barely survived. So yeah, it sucks to be born as a penguin, because your first breath is a gamble, your childhood is a crowdsourced heater, your adulthood is starvation with romance, and your ending is usually quiet. But the cycle? The cycle is loud. If you want more brutal survival stories and unskippable nature documentaries, subscribe to Zinba and prepare for the next video. It's insane.